Sam Altman and Jony Ive team up for what? And the company behind VoiceDream Reader shoots itself in the foot. This is Mac Voices. Mac Voices is supported by the MacVoices Slack. Discussions, questions, and answers, and a place to talk tech with your friends. The MacVoices Slack is available to all patrons of Mac Voices. Sign up at patreon.com/MacVoices and join in. Welcome to Mac Voices. This is the talk of the Apple community, and I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, we are doing Mac Voices live on YouTube at youtube.com/MacVoicesTV. It's Tuesday night. We have a bunch of our friends in the chat room right now. I'm hoping for more, and of course, you should be there too. So join us whenever, anytime you can get here, Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern. So let's go around the room, find out who's here. First up, as usual, in the top left of my screen, Mr. David Ginsburg. David, good to see you.
Thanks for having me, Chuck. Great to be here, and great to be with the rest of you guys here. Let's go have some fun.
Hey, it's always fun whenever we put this crew together. It's always fun,
is.
As evidenced by the pre-show banter. Looking like the anti-eclipse because he looks like a big sun, Mr. Ben Roethig. Ben, good to see you.
Good to be here, Chuck.
That's it. Just
What?
He does it on my show too. I mean,
am I supposed to give a nice long monologue here?
No, but I was expecting
you could have
something.
come back with something like, my future's so bright, I gotta wear shades.
Yeah. Hire Jeff as your writer. Yeah. Webb Bixby is here as well. Webb, good to see you. If memory serves, that is your pocket square quilt?
Yeah, that is correct. That is correct. And I'm going to tell you that tonight's show is going to be so great, you can watch it twice to make up for next week. So
there you go. There you go. I like that. I like that idea.
Go.
I like that idea. Let's see. Jeff Gamet is here. I got nothing, Jeff. It's just good to see you.
Yeah, whatever. It's always a treat to get to hang out with you, Chuck.
Oh, it's so good to have you. It's so good to have you. Eric Bolden is here tonight. Tonight he doesn't have a live bird, but there is evidence of bird in the background. So
feathers.
So he got there after the bird left.
Well, and in honor of the ghost of the bird, the plant for today is bloodroot.
Oh, okay.
So that worked.
Oh, yeah, man, that is fantastic.
Yeah, that's is it really bloodroot? I have no idea what.
Yeah, if you break open the root, it looks like it's bleeding.
Okay.
But the flower is probably going to be the rest of the ground too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You never know what you're going to learn on this show. I had no idea there was such a thing. So, last but not least, sneaking in under the wire, Mr. Jim Ray. Jim, thank you for. I guess it sounded like you just put your life on hyperspeed to get to us.
Well, yeah, actually, I wish I was here later.
I don't blame you.
You're welcome, Jim.
And if I get a certain text message, I'll leave.
Okay. I'm afraid to ask you.
I don't think that text message is going to come, but
okay. Well, hey, if it does, and you got to go, we understand. So let's get to it. I've got quite a few things here, but I wanted. So I'm going to jump around a little bit. It was sort of dependent on who was here. The first one is from Apple World today. That Sam Altman and Jony Ive are partnering to create an AI-powered personal device. And then there was a subsequent story that Lauren Powell Jobs might be one of the ones funding this. I was really curious to see what everyone thought about this, an AI-powered personal device. What does that mean? What could that mean? given that Jony Ive is going to be involved, it's going to be super thin. That goes without saying.
With chamfered edges.
With chamfered edges.
1 minute battery life.
And it will be made by a completely unique manufacturing process.
In a white room.
Yeah. And of course, I am being a little flip, but what did you guys take away from this? This interesting combination of Sam Altman and Jony Ive. Nobody
there
has
you go.
Thoughts?
Yeah.
That sums it up nicely right there. Until we have more, this feels like a giant nothing burger to me.
Yeah, but it'll look good.
Look good.
Yeah.
I mean, what does that even mean? Personal AI.
Remember General Magic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, General Magic, Knowledge Navigator. I mean, is that something they might be trying for?
One would hope not, because I was illustrating it as a company full of luminary big names that never really shipped anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing with this. I wouldn't entirely agree with Jeff that it's a nothing burger. It's definitely a something burger. But the thing is, we have no idea what that something really is.
We don't know what it is, yeah.
So it's kind of hard.
Even know yet.
Yeah.
Again, the reason we're talking about it or even bringing it up is Jony Ive,
Sure.
At least on this show. I mean, because Sam Altman has his fingers in so many things that it's kind of surprising he wouldn't be doing something with Jony Ive or someone of that stature. But, given that Jony has seemed to have, he's talked about doing a lot of different things since he left Apple, and at least so far, not that I've seen, have any of them really either panned out or even made significant progress. Does anybody know anything to the contrary?
Well, that's what I was going to say. What was the last thing? He was doing I can't even remember what it was. It was something really goofy, like some sort of royal dinnerware.
Yeah, something like that.
I missed that one.
It was something royal, wasn't it?
It was the Queen's Centennial or something.
Yeah, something like that.
I think you could make an argument that Apple is firing on all cylinders, the hardware design, since he left. In fact, I think I didn't think of it until now, but I was listening to Core Intuition podcast, and they were talking about, remember, the bad old days 5 years ago when, Apple Butterfly keyboards and, the Mac Pro didn't come out for years, and, on and on, all these, and, now there's none of that. Everything's, going gangbusters, and Apple hardware is, really the best in class all along. And it's like, well, what's changed?
Practical considerations.
Yeah. I don't know. It's Barry in the chat room brought up the Humane AI pin, if any of you remember that. And that's that burned very bright there for a very short time and then sort of faded away.
Yeah, because they showed us the actual product, and it sucks.
Yeah, I mean, again, I feel like some of these projects are trying to go too far, too fast, or too soon anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're still planning on shipping that thing. But yeah, that, when you said AI powered device, the Humane
and
thing,
it sucks.
The first thing I thought of.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe they'll start to ship a pin cushion with it.
I don't know.
Well-designed add-on device.
Well, if we have something like, well, I hesitate to say this because I'll get all kind of bad feedback from this crew, but if you have something like the Apple Watch with the S Lady on it that functions at a much higher level, isn't that theoretically an AI-powered device, or at least something that ties into your phone to do the AI crunching? I don't know.
I think, yeah, that's one of the questions that I've seen people ask is, why would I want a humane pin when I could just use my watch? And I kind of wonder that too. But the watch isn't, the humane thing was like the AI is like, it doesn't work at all without AI, right? The watch, that's not the case. The watch could have an AI feature, but you could never use that feature and still get value out of the watch. It's not AI first. This announcement sounds like they're talking about something AI first, like the humane, possibly like the humane pin.
Or maybe something that sits on your counter.
Yeah, I want to welcome Mark Fuccio to the show. Mark, good to see you.
Hello, everyone. Good to see you.
Mark.
Is that a real photo or is that photoshopped?
No, that is a real photo, but it's something I found on the web because we've been inundated by hummingbirds in the past 7 to 10 days. They're migrating back, and my wife has 13 feeders spread around, and we get quite a few of them.
We'll send Eric's hawk.
Pardon?
I said we'll send Eric's hawk.
Okay. Well, we have things carefully disguised so it will limit their ability to be seen and perceived by predators.
13 feeders, Mark. There's a reason you have a lot of hummingbirds.
Yeah, my wife is crazy about them.
Oh, well, that's
if you
great.
go out about 7:15, 7:30 before it's dark, they're doing their last feeding of the night, and there's a lot of interactions and fights and chases and all sorts of things. Very entertaining.
Okay,
They're fun.
There you go. Well, you picked up the slack where Eric only had feathers tonight. You've got hummingbirds. So, Eric, you got to up your game. Okay, so the next one is another one of those examples of what were you thinking? And I don't know, you folks, you may have remembered us talking about an app called VoiceDream Reader, which is basically an ebook PDF text to speech application that I know Brittany Smith loves. I love because it is so high quality. It does such a great job. Well, it was sold, and the new company decided to put a rather hefty subscription on it. And they must have gotten killed. Now, the article I just dropped in our chats does not tell the rest of the story unless they've updated it since I looked at it. But since this story came out and broke, Brittany put me onto this, by the way. I opened it on my app, and I'll quote from the app. Following our recent announcement towards transition VoiceDream to a subscription, we received an overwhelming response from thousands in our community. Your feedback, along with the impactful stories shared about VoiceDream being a pivotal part of your daily lives, has led us to reverse this decision. We will continue to provide access to the app's existing features at no additional cost. As we continue developing VoiceDream, some new features may be offered as part of a subscription, but the current capabilities will remain free for those who have already purchased VoiceDream. It's again why they decided not the subscription part, but the fact that they were going to pull back everything immediately from the people who had already paid for it under a license that was supposed to be perpetual. It's like, don't these people read the headlines?
Chuck, do you remember an app
Obviously
called
not.
Paper by 53?
Yeah.
Yes, Jeff, I do.
Mm-hmm.
And how many people do you know that use it now? Exactly. And the reason being is because The company was bought by another company, and the new owners did exactly what this company tried to do, and they took features everyone had already paid for, and they said, "Great, now you have to pay a subscription for what you already bought." And people flipped out. I was one of them, and my feeling was, look, if you're going to do this, you give everyone what they already had. You let them keep what they had. And then if you want to start doing subscriptions, then what you add in becomes subscription. That's fine. But that isn't what they wanted to do. So they took away all these features, and everyone raised a big stink. And their response is basically, and we all left. So maybe they did read enough headlines in this case to realize, oh, yeah, this isn't going to play out well financially.
So Jeff, that you're describing, when did that occur? And was that app purchased through the App Store, or was this pre-App Store days?
Okay, so this, it would have been App Store because it was an iOS iPad app.
iPad, yeah. I had it.
And so we had all paid for the app, and then they went and changed. So what they did was they rolled out an update that took most of the features that we already had, that we had paid for, and just shut them off. And so then to get the features back we had already paid for, you would have to sign up for a subscription. And everyone was like, yeah, no, we're not going to do it.
Well, I think appropriate punishment is given a middle airplane seat between two fat belly dudes and a crying baby in front and in back. Somebody who's kicking the back of the seat. Yeah, I think that would be appropriate punishment.
Right next to the blank panel where the door could be.
Yeah. But no, I think here, the only thing I can think about here, I don't know the story about this other app, but here they were saying that they would complain to Apple that all of a sudden they're not honoring things that they had sold there. I think that might cause Apple to look at them in a different light. But you described they offered an update that stripped everything out. So that's dirty, dastardly, and underhanded, and deserving of sort of punishment. And since we're a capitalist society, hopefully that punishment starts with a chapter and ends in 7 or 13.
Well, in a way, Mark, that would be a shame because, I mean, one of the things I should have said up front too is that this was a major app for the vision-impaired, not just for those of us that want to listen to have a book read to us, but the accessibility community, I think, endorsed this very heavily. And the other point too that I want to make sure I said is that they had planned to make this a $79 per year subscription, which, ouch. I mean, okay, I get it. You need to make money. You need to make your money back. But to go right out of the gate from $0 to $79.
What did it cost? How much was the product before?
Sorry?
How much did it cost before?
I honestly don't know. I don't think it was in the article.
I didn't see it, which is why I asked.
It wasn't that. I mean, it wasn't anywhere near that, Jim. It wasn't anywhere near that.
So the price per year is more than what used to be the lifetime price?
I'm pretty sure. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that, folks, but that's what my recollection says.
Yeah, but I mean, this is literally preying on the disabled.
Well, that's certainly one interpretation, Ben.
That's a fine line, though, because does that mean you can't sell anything to that? If you sell anything to somebody that's disabled, where does it become preying on them? And
where it becomes preying on them is when you've already sold them something, and when you've sold anyone something, and then you turn around and say, okay, and now to be able to use what you've already paid for, you're now going to have to shell out $70 a year or whatever it was.
I would say back out the subscription what if they just said your thing doesn't work anymore? That's essentially what they're doing.
Well, that's what they did do.
It's just, it's got nothing to do with subscriptions. It's just they've committed fraud.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, they made a bad.
What is it called?
If
you or theft? If you sell somebody a product and then repossess it, essentially.
Somewhere in the terms of service, that there's something protecting them.
Yeah, this is subject to change. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, but this was just such a bad look in so many ways. That no warning period, no nothing. Just you open it up one day and hey, guess what? You owe us $79, or your app doesn't work that you've already paid for.
It seems as bad as Roku, but that was a show I wasn't on.
Oh, you're going to get your chance tonight, Mark. Don't you worry. In fact, if nobody else has anything more on VoiceDream, we will go to Roku. I will adjust this. Listen, let me say this. The VoiceDream Reader is a phenomenal app, as it has been up till now. And as far as I know, it still is. But, where they go from here is anyone's game. So by all means, check it out. If you have the need, whether it's an accessibility need or just the desire to have things read to you in a high quality voice, by all means, check it out. But just buyer beware. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices, or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you Mac Voices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.